But Dave, look, I don't like when people misquote me either. You probably don't like when people misquote you. So I actually have a little bit of a highlight reel here of Dave Smith's tweets over the years. Dave Smith, June 16, 2025. Trump allegedly had full prior knowledge of Israel's attacks and gave it his blessing while pretending to be negotiating with the Iranians as a cover. If this is true, Trump is the most impotent bitch of a leader imaginable. He's calling our president, the greatest president in my lifetime, an impotent bitch. Are you kidding me?
Look, if you support what Israel's doing in Gaza right now, I would just, my advice to you guys is just know that you never have a leg to stand on claiming to be pro-life for the rest of your life. Just saying that. So it's okay to support
Let's not boo our speakers.
Dave Smith finally got humbled, ladies and gentlemen, by a MAGA, America First conservative who is also pro-Israel. Check out how he dismantles Dave Smith and then also Dave Smith's reaction.
Good news is that while no one should be afraid of debate, and this debate is a nice thing here, the MAGA movement is actually quite unified. Believe it or not, all the talk to the contrary when it comes to these issues. An overwhelming majority of self-identified MAGA Republicans supports close U.S.-Israel relations. According to a CBS News poll, moreover, after the recent Operation Midnight Hammer B-2 bombers in Iran, 94% of self-identified MAGA Republicans supported President Trump's dropping those B-2 bombs on Fort Natanz and the other Iranian facilities there. This is a wildly popular policy there. What did Dave Smith say about this? He re-upped his now years-long crusade to call for Donald Trump's impeachment. Y'all probably don't know that about Dave Smith, do you? He's now called for Donald Trump to be impeached multiple times. But Dave, look, I don't like when people misquote me either. You probably don't like when people misquote you. So I actually have a little bit of a highlight reel here of Dave Smith's tweets over the years. Dave Smith, March 19th, 2024. Donald Trump is responsible for around 500,000 deaths in Yemen and between the weapons to Ukraine and the Abraham Accords Jerusalem embassy. He is at least partially responsible for the two worst humanitarian crises in the world. He's a war criminal who should spend his life in prison. He is calling Donald Trump a war criminal who should spend his life in prison. You should be livid at that. I am livid at that as a Trump supporter. Donald Trump, Dave Smith, June 16, 2025. Trump allegedly had full prior knowledge of Israel's attacks and gave it his blessing while pretending to be negotiating with the Iranians as a cover. If this is true, Trump is the most impotent bitch of a leader imaginable. He's calling our president, the greatest president in my lifetime, an impotent bitch. Are you kidding me? June 21st, 2025, Donald Trump has now launched an illegal war of aggression against Iran. The risk of an absolute catastrophe is very high and the benefits are non-existent. Dave Smith, June 21st. Dead wrong. This notion that World War III would start, not a single American casualty. We should be celebrating that. Donald Trump fulfilled multiple campaign promises. The escalator speech in 2015 at Trump Tower, he literally said, I'm not going to let Iran get a nuclear weapon. And guess what? He said, I oppose a neoconservative foreign policy. He did both of those things with Iran. He deprived the Iranian regime of nuclear weapon while not losing a single American sailor, soldier, or Marine while depriving them of nuclear weapons. And finally, Charlie, I'll end on this. Dave Smith, July 8th, 2025. In the last month, Donald Trump has launched a war of aggression on behalf of a foreign government, exploded the debt, announced that he's continuing the Biden policy of arming Ukraine, and covered up a giant child rape operation. So according to my interlocutor, Donald Trump is not just engaging in wars on behalf of a foreign government, he is also covering up the world's giant pedophilic child sex trafficking ring, allegedly, I presume, on behalf of a foreign government as well. So I'm disgusted, frankly, that this man is on stage, but I'll end it at that.
Okay, well.
Wow. That was so good because he read the room. He understands he's in a MAGA room. He's a MAGA guy himself. He's like, okay, this guy Dave Smith, who I'm debating, he's not really MAGA. I don't understand why these guys might or might not like him. And, at the end of the day, look at all the things he said. Look at the receipts. Look at what he says over the years about your guy. You like Trump? Well, then you probably shouldn't like Dave Smith. And a lot of what Dave Smith just says is so hyperbolic. It's like obvious. It's like, oh, Trump started a war with Iran, World War III, everybody's going to die. And then nothing happened. But he was proven wrong time and time again. And it's great to basically point that out. Now, Dave Smith actually responded to him and was talking about Gaza a little bit later on in the debate. And he actually embarrassed himself and got booed by the crowd. Yeah, let's take a look at that again.
Got it. So
a lot there. First of all, look, if you support what Israel's doing in Gaza right now, I would just, like, my advice to you guys is just know that you never have a leg to stand on claiming to be pro-life for the rest of your life. Just saying that. If you, so it's okay to support policy.
Let's not boo our speaker,
It's okay to support a policy that is killing babies. All of a sudden, killing babies is negotiable. All right.
Charlie has to play policeman there for Dave Smith. Again, read the room. Read the room. You're not in a group of liberal freaks that want to destroy Israel. You're in a room of MAGA Republicans that actually like Israel, a lot of them. And if you're going to try to tell them, and obviously are anti-abortion, and if you're going to try to tell them that they're baby killers and all this other stuff, it's like, why are you trying to garner support by telling them that they're baby killers?
Fine. I'm just reading the room.
So, Dave, why don't you...
No, I'm not talking about for Hamas.
Hold on. Back up, Dave. Why don't
I just let you go on this whole long thing?
I know. I'm going to actually help you out here, Dave, okay? What I'm doing is I want you to tell the audience what's going on in Gaza, because some people in the audience don't know what's going on. So don't assume they know, and let's not get back...
Oh, okay. Well, I did assume that most people know that lots of babies are being killed in Gaza, but maybe I shouldn't have assumed that.
Don't be sarcastic about it, Dave. Instead, I mean this. Because
no, I meant that literally. I did assume that.
Loop where they're on social media all the time, okay? So walk through numbers, walk through what animates you to say something like that.
There's a lot of...
I love it. Because Dave Smith is basically like trashing Charlie's audience. He's like, what are you trying to do here? What are you trying to accomplish? And I don't understand how Dave Smith prepared for this debate. Maybe he decided that he's going to go in there and just shit on all over MAGA, and that's going to be his great sort of, final departure from the MAGA movement. But I think that a lot of Republicans see right through him. He's not a Republican. He's not somebody that should be celebrated. In fact, he's completely against their movement and a lot of what they believe in. And let's just go through this last clip of Josh Hammer, the American pro-Israel conservative, fact-checking Dave Smith.
Substance to respond to. I'll just really briefly do that, and then we'll talk about what I actually want to talk about in my opening remarks. Dave mentioned this alleged coordination between the neoconservatives, which I presume he means Bush-era foreign policy, and the Likud party. I presume half of you probably don't even know what the Likud party is. It's referring to the Israeli right. It's very instructive, and Dave always conveniently neglects to inform the audience of this, that the actual leader of the Israeli right back in 2002, a man by the name of Ariel Sharon, vehemently opposed the Bush administration going into Iraq. So this whole notion that Israel is talking America into foreign wars is total nonsense. Actually, in 2011, when the Obama administration toppled Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, it's actually well known that Libya actually sent secret diplomatic envoys to Israel, trying to tell them to then talk to the United States and France to talk NATO off of that attack there. So this whole narrative is totally backwards there. But I want to kind of dumb things down a little bit here. I see a lot of people wearing 47 hats. I voted for President Trump multiple times. I love our president. You guys love our president, right? You love President Trump? Okay. This is turning point freaking USA. Charlie, God bless you. You have built the largest MAGA grassroots army in the country. Seriously, my friend, you deserve this. You all are card-carrying members of it. We here are part of that. The good news is that while no one should be afraid of debate, and this debate is a nice thing here, the MAGA movement is actually quite unified. Believe it or not, all the talk to the contrary when it comes to these issues. An overwhelming majority of self-identified MAGA Republicans supports close U.S.-Israel relations. According to a CBS News poll, moreover, after the recent Operation Midnight Hammer B-2 bombers in Iran, 94% of self-identified MAGA Republicans supported President Trump's dropping those B-2 bombs on Fordo, Natanz, and the other Iranian facilities there. This is a wildly popular policy there.
I didn't even realize that. It was a little bit of a repeat of the last clip, although it added some context, a little bit, 30, 40 seconds beforehand. Again, incredible job there, Josh Hammer. Understanding that you're at a MAGA Republican event. You're a MAGA, card-carrying MAGA member. You're America first. You don't necessarily side with Israel on everything, but you obviously point out that the conservative movement is with Trump and Trump is with Israel. And so Dave Smith trying to claw and find a way to make the America First movement about him and about being anti-Israel is not working. And obviously Dave Smith lost this debate because he came in there trying to not necessarily convince people that he's correct, but in fact shame them into trying to maybe garner sympathy for Gaza or garner sympathy for the dead babies, as they always do. The only thing they have to stand on is look at the women and children. Look at the dead babies. That's all they have to do. And they have zero appeal to actual facts and data. Instead, they go to appeal to emotion. And I don't think it works for debaters that know what they're doing. For more, subscribe to the channel. If you want to help us make more of these videos, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Jewish Uncensored. And you can also go to our channel memberships page to gain access to exclusive content. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.